But okay, meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start it. Just in case, you know.
Yeah, let's just get started. Yeah, so welcome everyone to this, former salt testing and release working group. I think one of the topics to do, if we are splitting this working group, if we are redefining this particular working group, etc. Last month there were no meeting because there were some other topics in the agenda. But yeah, let's see how we are doing here. So yeah, again, welcome everyone. I think last feedback we had from you, Sage, was exactly that you were thinking on redefine or maybe split this working group, since reality is that here we don't have really much, let's say, development of the test and actual work about improving the test suite, but more about discussions and also around the release process. So I'm not sure if you have some defined plan around, if you have some news already about this, that you might let us know, maybe.
Right, so I did want to talk to this group about some of the direction that the group has gone and the interest in keeping a portion of, splitting the group, but we could keep this time slots and this group together, but just narrow the focus either into release or testing.
Yeah, and that actually makes a lot of sense because initially, when there was the initial approach or initial proposals of working groups, we came with this one about testing and releasing because there was no other. But now we have testing clinics and some other activities which are more focused on the actual test development.
Right.
It seems we are lacking still some place to coordinate about releasing and to have some meetup point, point for releasing related topics. So yeah, that might be actually a good way of redefining the scope of this current working group, maybe.
Yeah, and of course there will be a little bit of everything in the release working group itself that will relate to testing, but it won't be the only thing. The focus will be more about, release and really getting the release process well-defined and a little bit more push button. If we can automate and do some work there, I think that would be really good. And so I think that would be a great place for this group to focus. I have a project charter, just an MD file out in the community repo that just sort of sets up like, what are the goals and objectives and kind of the time frame for those, and then who to contact. Some of it's just so that if we wanted to garner interest in the group and gain more community activity, it gives us a way to do a quick synopsis of the group and what we're working on to put out on the website. I can help with filling that out. And I think going through that will help us to also define some of the tasks that we're going to do around the release process.
Yeah, sounds great, actually. Okay. Well, I just noticed that tomorrow you will be having the retrospective about this latest CV release. So that's actually something we are interested to join. And of course, the discussing about the release process here in this working group, how we can improve the workflow. Also trying to gather the feedback from, for example, that retrospective that is happening tomorrow. Yeah, all these kind of things, and having this time slot as also this appointment where we can all meet. Yeah, we can talk and discuss about this. Okay, sounds fine. One other thing I have here, also now that we are talking about restructuring, let's say like that, the captain role of the working group. This was initially thought as a role that has or is rotating, at least initially it was uh, mentioned like that. It was initially for this particular one. It was Mihai and myself that just started, and then Mihai left, and I just took over the role. But I'm not sure if there is something to do on this. If some other people wants to take this role on, or if yeah, I should be continuing this until someone else just step up or wherever. Yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly fine keeping this, but of course, I want to allow others that wants to take this role as well. Yeah,
Sure.
so this is
Just
something that
I
please.
just wanted to ask if this is a secret cry for help.
Well, I mean, initially this was planned in a way, and reality is that after 1 year, even the initial activity that we planned, we haven't tackled much of it. But it's
Yeah,
true
that's
that
true.
the meeting point, I think it has been, it's really worth. I mean, we have clarified a lot of stuff during those previous meetings, even if we haven't tackled, actual cars and this kind of thing. So yeah, it's not like I'm crying for for help. I'm perfectly fine keeping this, but it also wants to let's other, or maybe it's also good to force others or to make this role to move, and maybe comes to me again, whatever, since we are not too many people here. Uh, of course, if anyone wants to take this role for some time, I'm perfectly fine to keep it. No problem. But just to let you know, in any case.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that it would be good to eventually, I think for now, if you want to keep it and we can garner some interest, that would be great. And I'd love to go over some of the outstanding tasks that you guys originally set out to do and see where they fit. Because I do still want to have a testing working group that may meet at a different time and have some other objectives, like getting tests written for all those ports to master that are sort of pending still, or something like that. So that we could kind of break those up a little bit and give a focus there. I think there's some people that may not be as interested in release, but may still be interested in testing, and vice versa. So we thought that would be good to break those up a little bit and then give focus. Did you guys have, it seems like you guys had a project board
I'm
for
trying
this group.
yeah, I'm trying to share the screen. Wait a
Oh yeah.
second. This one. Can you see? This is the Solstack community, and as far as we have it here, yeah, this one. So this is the board that has been collecting basically everything, which is, I mean, there is not much progress, but ideas and everything that we have collected has been put here in some cards. So we defined initially time ago some epics. This was, for example, yeah, make the release process more transparent. I think there are some annotations and yeah, stuff. Then we have more focus on the test suite itself, like improve reliability, also about the toaster, which is this project that we are using at SUSE for testing salt in Docker containers. Yeah, how we can do for integrate this upstream and these kind of things. But yeah, these goals were created when the scope of the working was testing and release, and not focus only in release. So yeah, we had also some to do here. Document improvement, investigate the reason of slowest test. So yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe something to do here would be to clean this up in the sense of transferring maybe some of those. These are actually cards, not even issues, right?
Yeah, so they can, yeah, we could
No,
transfer
those
them.
are issues. Those are issues. So
Oh,
maybe
okay.
we can move them from boards. I'm not sure what do we want to do, Sage. If you are going to, if we are renaming this one to
Yeah.
release group or how?
Yep, I can do that. That's fine.
Mhm. And then you can shuffle the cards, which are
Yep.
actually issues, and move them around the different projects. Yeah.
Yep. I'm happy to do that.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Um, so yeah, once we have this clean, maybe we can, yeah, see how we are doing. By the way, we will be joining tomorrow probably to this retrospective. And let's see what we got from there. Yeah, is there anything that you want to, or anyone wants to bring up to the meeting today? From anyone?
Not from my side.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, maybe just one thing. We are currently working on getting salt toaster tests ready to run on our salt repository. That will not be super interesting for you guys, but it's very interesting for us at SUSE, because that allows us, and we will be starting with the unit tests, that allows us to run the salt twister tests on our release branches, so that we get faster feedback on the tests there. Because currently we have it structured in a way that it's running internally inside of SUSE, and only when there is an update to the OBS repositories, and this will be changing. So it's a good thing for us, because we see faster if something might be breaking our stuff, but not only our stuff. So yeah, that's a good thing. We will be starting, actually we have started this week, and I think we should be seeing something around next week.
Thank you, Johan. One thing on my side about the CVE released. Have you found, anything significant to, any other regression or something significantly important after the, gathering the initial feedback after the CVE? Something worth to mention, maybe?
Oh,
Or
like other, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, just thinking on if you are planning to do some backfix release soon. For
Right.
3002.3. Yeah.
Right. We are planning to do the bug fix release soon. I think it'll be a little bit closer to the end of the month. So not this week or next week, but the following week, the last full week of March, targeting the 23rd right now. And I don't think that we found more to report on.
There were other SSH options that we added.
Yeah. I saw
Quite
a
a
pull
few,
request the
actually.
other day. Yeah. Bringing like, all the rest of SSH keywords, right? Or user
We
parameters.
could send you a patch if you'd like to review it.
All right. I can just take that from the pull request. There is no problem. But I was just wondering if there are some other thing that you have on your queue related to that backfix or upcoming backfix release, or if that only.
Yeah, there was one other issue in the restart check module that we're handling. So that's like a total of three things that we're gonna address for the bug fix.
Okay. So in any case, your plan more or less is to expect to try to do this by the end of the month. So we will be looking. Yeah.
We were actually going to plan to tag today, but I think I want to wait till tomorrow because I just want to get a review of the change from one of the people that reported the issue in restart check. So I should have that by tomorrow, and we'll be ready to tag.
All right. Perfect. I have to say that on our side, we haven't yet received anything from any customer or anything. So at least on the context of, SUSE Manager Uni and also the plainly salt users, yeah, we haven't received anything yet. So that's also good.
And tomorrow will be just the retrospective. I think it's something I probably need to make more clear, that it's one piece of sort of root cause analysis, or, after action report, or any reporting that's going to go on with that. It's only one piece. I won't have like full timelines and a full report to give immediately following or during that meeting, but it is just a chance for people to speak up and give feedback, and for us to listen to that. There is also an issue in the SALT repo with a label retro, so that people that can't attend the US time meeting can also give asynchronous feedback. So just so you guys are aware, that's out there.
Yeah, we saw the issue. That's great.
Okay, good.
Perfect. All right. Is there anything else that we want to discuss?
We have time to go over some goals, or to sort of go through some of these to-dos. I guess anything that is test related, I can move out, but I'd love to even just dive into the to-do of documentation improvement, documentation of the release process. That seems like a really large scope ticket, or to do. Do we have any specifics that you guys had narrowed in on?
Let's take a look. Do you want to share your screen, and then we can, or you can
Sure.
already move those to the other board, and yeah, we can go over them. Yeah, sounds good.
Yes, this is the one. I don't have much else in here except for that it's part of the Epic. Make the release process more transparent, and then each one of these are pretty. That's pretty big. So I just didn't know if you guys had more specifics you wanted, that you had talked about.
Sage, can you increase the font or size just by one? Thanks. Yeah, much better.
So
sorry about that.
The goals that we set were like, epic cars. They are really big, and they are like what we would like to achieve. Then at some point we started like creating item lists on each one of those epic, and each one of those item lists we wanted to create a car that is more achievable. That's why we have the link to document and improve documentation of the release process to this issue 93, which might be probably the card that we have to do. So in order to be able to allow different people also to assign to different cards that are working all together into the same epic. So let's take a look at the 93 one, just to see, it's only part of the epic.
Yeah, there's just not much here. I mean, I get how how you've got it broken down. This is still pretty big and only has, that it's part of the epic. So I just didn't know if this one actually seems like it may, to me, if I go back, it actually seems like these are slightly backwards. This one sounds like the first one, but then this almost sounds like what would come last after you identify pain points, research improving those points, and create a proposal for improvement. Then you would go and improve the documentation, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
you're right, and we should reshuffle those exactly.
That's fine.
And the idea is that those cars here, for example, identify the pain points. We do create a car, and that car is in the to-do, so anyone can just go to the to-do, pick that one, which is something actionable.
Sure.
Right? And
sure, I get the process. I just didn't see that these were actually more broken down, right? That like this one, and that's fine. If you guys didn't have more just yet, that's something that we can kind of tackle. And I think that's great. Like we can get into this and kind of reshuffle these. I think this just goes at the bottom.
Yeah. Please feel free.
Right, like. to, yeah. There we go. I can make some cards for these if they don't already exist, which this one has, it's linked. So I just don't think that it's, the rest of these are quite there, but that's okay.
Yeah, as soon as we clean the stuff which is from test suite related, basically testing related, I think we can even populate the, I can start, for example, creating those cards for each one of those items and then linking accordingly. I mean, in the ones that has the tag for the release process, which are in the end the ones that are going to remain here after we complete, right?
Right. Yeah, and I can go through and I'll move the other ones that are for testing.
Let's just do that.
We'll break that up, and that'll be our task to review for next time. I think I will also want to kind of look at this a little bit with what I think it'll go in well with, so I can just show you it's in here. There's the working groups, and there's this project charter. And it is just a little bit of information so that people know exactly what the working group is, what they're working on, and then who to contact, like when they're meeting, where their project board is, just to give this all in one place. And I'll put these on the website eventually. There is one for a new group for security. I haven't gone through this with Barney just yet, but it looks, the same.
Okay, I will prepare that one. In the end, we agree in the name of this one is going to be release testing working group, or how is the final name?
I think we'll just call it the release working group.
Okay.
Simplify it. So I just renamed it release working group on the board.
Cool.
Yeah. And this one, it may make more sense to leave it here in the community repo. A bunch of them, I have moved them to the SALT repo because they have so many issues in the repo itself that it made more sense to have them there. This is a little bit of a hidden repo, but I think it's working for this group. So I'll leave it here. And if we ever need to change it, that's also an option.
Yeah. No, it's working fine, I guess. And actually the good thing is that we can simply create issues here, which are not, move them completely, and also labels, which are not part of the labels that you have in the main repo.
Right.
As soon as it works.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, it looks like this. So there's an issue that got opened here that I think this probably goes in the SALT repo. Huh. Fun. I'll go back to that. Yeah, it's one of the, if we let people open issues here, this happens sometimes. I guess I don't always catch it. I should be better about that. But yeah, I think this will work great. If you want to work on the release ones, I'll work on the test ones, and we can work together on a charter. If you wanted to start a draft like Barney did here, I think that'd be great. A lot of it is probably going to come from those epics that are already written, and that's great. I think then it's about writing out some of the key risks that we want to just highlight, and that's mostly just for us, where it's sort of that like preemptive.
Yeah, sounds good. I can take from the goals and try to come up with an initial draft for this working group definition, and then we can work even in the pull request if needed.
Okay, great.
Okay, so I'm creating new issues now. Let me try to assign. This is release. Project release. I'm creating the cards, and I will try to elaborate a little bit more. I'm just copying the titles that we have on the
Perfect.
goal on the Epic. And yeah.
That sounds good. I've had a couple of people say that they were interested in this working group, although at the moment I can't remember who they are. I will try to remember that, or maybe just ask tomorrow in the open hour for people to contact myself and Janae about joining the working groups. Seems like there was someone, and would love to get some more take on doing some automation for release process. So not only like identifying some of those pain points, but also looking where we could really automate. I think that that's going to just help us be faster. And I'd love to hear from this team now if you guys have ideas or things that you've seen that could be automated. It may be more about us exposing exactly what our process is today, and that's fine too. I think that may be something that we could even go over next time.
Yeah, I think what we initially need is, or I think we have at some point, I think Megan worked on a documentation about how the release process is done. But we need to start from somewhere, you know, and then, based on that, start to identify points, and of course, everything that we see or things that people think that can be automated from the current release process. And we need to see, or we will need to have, let's see if this is in somewhere, the, you know, the definition of the release process, let's say like that.
Right.
How we're doing at the moment. Okay.
I'll take an action to do that by next time, and to see if I can get a really good condensed version for us to just sort of quickly review, or to send out to the group, or link here or something, and then we can start on that and even see if we can get some action out of that, like some tasks.
Sounds great. Yeah. So for the next meeting, we will have this document, or at least some documentation to start working, and then we will have also already these few cards a little bit more elaborated. So based on that discussion we will be having, then we can start, or people can start working on those cards.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
It does sound good.
Okay.
Welcome, Bryce.
Hello.
I just didn't notice that you joined. Welcome.
Hey. Okay. Cars.
And I don't have anyone set up to be a captain of just testing working group just yet. I think I had a few people that were interested in joining it, so I may pick from that. But if anyone here has any ideas or knows of other people that are interested, if you guys want to let me know, I'll probably make them a project board here as well, and just start from there.
Okay. All right, we have you. We have few cards in the DOM column that I think that we can just archive at this moment.
Okay. That's fine.
Those are testing related, but okay.
Daniel or Bryce or Pedro, do you guys, has anybody said anything to you about a testing work group or wanting to join that group or head it up or anything?
Nope.
No.
I haven't heard anything.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Okay. I just wondered. Thanks.
Okay. Johan, do you remember maybe about this link that Megan provided at some point? Do you know where we have it?
I remember that there was a link, but unfortunately, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I was trying to find it, but yeah, didn't find it.
No worries. I can always ask her too.
Okay. And this one that we have in block, salt toaster for upstream test. This was part of that. We had some discussion about this. Johan, do you know something about this? Why do we keep this in block? If there is something, this is something that we are going to push or not in the end?
No, not from the top of my head.
Yeah, and we are going to work on the salt toaster on these following months as well, because the current toaster design is not, let's say it's not taking care NOx, and it's not really happy with the newer PyTest. So we need to do some changes on the toaster design to be able to run the test, the toaster test on top of master branch. So yeah, let's see. Maybe this would also change how we are doing with the toaster. Yeah, we will see. Maybe we can join to the testing working group at some point and then push this further in the future via that testing working group. So I would say that we can simply close this one, at least at the moment. Are you fine with that, Johan?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm not saying that we don't want to push this salt toaster upstream, but since now it's not working with master, there is not much we can push. So let's try to put this back in shape, and then let's see how we can use this also to help with upstream testing and to improve the general workflow. So
yeah, just wanted to say not yet, but not. But yeah, I mean, since we will also be switching at some point of time, it has to be working with master soon.
Yes. Okay.
By the way, at some point of time, Pedro, we've been talking about the golden images. Was there any change? Do you have golden images now? Because then we could also think about using them for the toaster.
We have, sorry, we have, Bryce can actually talk better about this because I think we tried to make them public, but we cannot make them all public.
Yeah,
And they're on AWS.
Yeah, they're all public except for OpenSUSE because OpenSUSE only publishes to the AWS Marketplace. But the rest of them are public AMIs in US Class 2 in AWS. There's also Mac, but I'm not sure. We haven't found out. No one really knows if we can legally make those available publicly.
You're probably not. Okay, only OpenSUSE is not public. Is that something that we need to address somehow?
Unless we make an effort to upload our own AMI that we create ourselves, like from a locally created image, I don't really see a way of doing that easily.
Unless it's OpenSUSE, unless it's SUSE doing it.
Yeah, so they publish the marketplace, so unless we make our own, there's not a way I see around it.
Sorry, are we talking about OpenSUSE images or SLES images?
OpenSUSE, we don't test SLES right now.
Okay.
The
Because
SLES ones are actually public, so we could share the SLES ones, but then we would have to pay for them. The license.
Oh, okay. That's
So,
really
running them.
weird. Okay.
Yeah, there was someone else who was asking about AMI images for OpenSUSE for the new release that's coming up and for the beta of that. And I don't know the release process in OpenSUSE in that regard, but maybe we can just put them on the same page where the other images we have also shared.
Yeah, would make sense.
I can ask the release manager.
That would be awesome. Thanks.
We also, I don't know if you guys are aware, we do also have Docker images of everything. That part of the pipeline needs a little bit of work, but they do exist.
That's awesome. That would be exactly what we are interested in. Do you have a link?
Let me give you guys a little bit of a tour. So if you come here on Jenkins and go to Golden Images and go to full PR, and master is what's actually merged and stuff. So you can see all these. You can see whether they pass their tests or not, stuff like that. Maybe 9, for example, and then you can come to any of these, just the latest job, and you can see the name of the container from Docker Hub.
And Bryce, that's the tests as they were when that image was created. So I'm guessing that those would look a lot better now.
Yeah, so anytime so I think there's actually a bug in the pipeline for building images. I'm pretty sure that the Docker containers always get pushed, even on PRs, to Docker Hub. The AMIs don't, they work correctly, but I'm not sure exactly. I haven't had enough time to dig into the pipeline. So anyways, the last job that ran, I think either on PR or here, I think is what ends up on Docker Hub. So we should fix that. Any questions?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I understood that correctly. Is that image already with that version of Salt included, or
So I believe there's no version of Salt on it. It's just prepared, ready to run the tests. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pedro?
Yeah, that's only system packages and Python and whatever we need from the system, nothing else.
Yeah, so it's ready to
that's
run Kitchen Docker on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Okay, and I see now the board is clean. We only have release process car, which are the ones that we just extract from the epic. Yeah, as mentioned, I will try to elaborate them a little bit, and we will discuss the document on next meeting. I'm not sure if I'm missing anything, but yeah, we will review this later. Probably editing the welcome note. Sage, is there any Slack channel that is already meant for the release process and is open, of course?
There's releases, but we may want to make one specific for the working group. I can do that. I'm not sure what I'll call it, I guess. Release process, maybe.
No, sounds good.
Okay.
And then I can add the link to the welcome note. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I get it.
Oh.
Alex and Victor, I'm adding you to the members of the working group, release working group.
Okay.
You are enforced. I mean,
Yeah, if you want it or not.
Yeah, to get the channel started, I just added a few people, but I added some more too. So we'll let people know that's there.
dun, 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 dun.
Oh, sorry about that. One of my dogs is vocal this morning. That's actually not new.
Pedro, you are here on the working group members. Are you also staying in the release working group?
I can say yes. I'm not saying that I will be as active, but yeah.
Okay, then I'm not removing anyone. Let's see.
Yeah, that's fine. The more the merrier, right?
Okay. I'm removing also the notes about porting PR to master. This is not scope for the test, for the release one.
Yeah, that's fine. I can put that on the testing one. Okay, I don't think we have anything else. Should we go ahead and adjourn and we'll meet next month?
Yeah, I'm preparing now the pull request. Hopefully I will get it ready, but yeah.
Okay, that
I
sounds
think
good.
if there is nothing else, then we can just wrap up. Yeah, we will see each other in 1 month. So take care. Yeah, and anyways, just a reminder about tomorrow's retrospective of the CVE, which is something also for the interest of the release working group. Okay, thank
Yes.
you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Ciao.